Welcome back to my channel, Smoking and Grilling, and today I'm getting ready to show you guys how to make a Southern style chicken fried steak with an excellent gravy. Now, super easy to make. You know what, this is really another tutorial on how to just make that gravy. You gotta trust that process. And remember, it's all in your elbow, your arm, and your wrist. You gotta keep whisking. You'll see in this video just how easy it is to make. And if you guys watch my smothered pork chop video, that was a great up close and personal way of making that gravy also. So, I got a couple of little pro tips for you. This is one that should be in every one of my videos. Listen, it's something that a lot of us don't do. We must taste our food at various, sections throughout the cook. That way, that increases your chances of having a great tasting meal. That puts you up into the 98, 99%, success rate. When people say, ooh, this food was good, it's really what they're talking about. Because if it's cooked properly, what they're saying is, it's got, it's seasoned properly. You know what? Nobody wants to eat no chicken fried steak and have a bland gravy, coating on it, that breading. So, I'm gonna suggest you make one. After you make it, you take it out. You know what, taste the breading. If it's to your liking, then you go ahead and continue on. That right there will let you know if you need to add more or whatever type of seasoning you need. So, without no further ado, we finna break it right into this video so you guys can just, check out this Southern style, chicken fried steak video. Okay, now let's go over the ingredients. We got whole milk, which is 2 cups. We got hot sauce, that's 1 tablespoon. And then those of you guys that are new to my channel, listen, every time that I pick up an ingredient, you can see on the screen that the name of the ingredient comes up along with the quantity. And also, if you look in the description box below this video, there's an ingredient list in there also. That way you can copy and paste, and then print if that's what you like. Okay, continuing on, we got an egg, that's a large egg. Then we got garlic powder, which is 1 tablespoon. And then right here, we got our all-purpose flour, and then I use 2 cups. Now, this right here is the buttermilk, which is a cup and a half. You want to have that. And then the rest right here, listen, that's just showing you what I'm cooking it in. That's my induction top 12-inch skillet that I'm using. And then right there, there's the cube steaks right there. And those, they're 4 half-pounders. And with those right there, I can say that I wasn't able to get them, regular so that I can tenderize them and show you guys at the local grocery store, which is like super easy just to buy them that way. Actually, that was the only way they came. All right, now, go ahead, put all your dry ingredients in, get yourself a whisk, and you just want to whisk it all together. Super simple. Now, use the ingredients down at the bottom. I made a low sodium version right here, but if you use the ingredients in the description box below, that'll get you just right on how it should taste. Okay, now we just want to go ahead and add your wet ingredients now. That was your buttermilk, then you come with your hot sauce. That hot sauce is really up to you. That's what I use, because I don't really do nothing too hot, but you can go ahead and double that if you would like. And then, add yourself an egg, get yourself your whisk, and then you just want to whisk it. When you whisk it, you'll be able to see just how well it blends together, especially when you see that hot sauce. But once you got it, now that you have your station set up, you want to grab your cube steak, and then you want to start off in your flour. Notice that I'm putting it on both sides. After I get it on there, then I'm gonna flip it, and I like to push it in there and make sure that you get that flour and all of the crevices of the meat after it's been tenderized. Now, shake off the excess flour, and then we're gonna go ahead and go into our wet batter. Then you just wanna make sure it's completely submerged, make sure it's wet, let that little bit drain, and then we're going back into the flour. Listen, I guess you can call that like double breading or whatever, but this right here is what put that nice coat on there. And then when you got that your flour seasoned just right, hey, all I can tell you is this is just a whole lot of goodness. Now you see me showing out using that spoon. That's not the way I really do it. I was just overthinking it. It's easier just for me to use my hand. That way I can press it down, make sure that flour gets absorbed onto that our wet batter. Now here, after you done that, we're gonna shake off the excess flour again, and we going back into the wet batter. Hey, listen, we're gonna get it double crunchy. Hey, it's just gonna be real nice. And the key is making sure you got yourself a cooling station. You know what? If you don't have one of those cooling racks, with a baking sheet underneath it, you can use a plate and a paper towel. But if you want the best results, you want it to be crunchy on both sides, you want to go ahead and get yourself, you want to have a cooling station. Now, you want to get your oil. You want to bring that up to about 350 degrees. Not about, that's exactly. What you see here is when I heat up my oil, I usually start a little higher because once you put it in there, it's going to lower the temperature anyway. So now look, check this out. Look right there. Look at that arrow. You can see the golden brown crispiness of the flour starting to rise up. It only takes, it depends on, your heat of your oil. But if you got it anywhere between 350 to 360 degrees, it should only take, and the thickness of your chicken fried steak makes a difference. But it should only take about 4 minutes on each side, and that right there is what you'll come out with. That's your results. You know, hey, super easy. I don't want to over talk it. You know what I mean? Hey, just like making fried chicken. And then after that, we just repeat the process. Again, look at the crust. It starts coming up after about 4 minutes. Then you flip it over and you cook it the same way. You know, about another 4 minutes. And then once that's done, go ahead and put it on your cooling station, which is actually your cooling rack, just over the top of a pan to catch anything that drips. Now, I would just suggest that you go ahead and preheat your oven to about 225 degrees, so that way you can stick them in there and they can stay warm as you cook as many of these steaks as you got going. Now you remember that you see that grease right there. This is what you got to do. Now I'm showing out. I'm using a strainer and all of that. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of times I just I pour what I need out and then I pour whatever's back. All the little falling off goodness that was on those steaks, I use that for my gravy. But because I'm making this right here, I'm showing you the clean, the good looking presentable option. Now, once you got that up, here's where we go, and this is where I call this going to class. For those of you guys that don't know how to make gravy, now we finna learn right here. Check this out. It's all in your elbow, your wrist, and that whisk right there. You got to keep it moving. That's 1/3 cup of the same flour that we use to bread the cube steaks. Now we just using that to make the gravy. You just want to keep moving it, and when I tell you this, you got to trust the process. You can see it's a little lumpy, but once I start adding some of the milk to it, it starts thinning out, and I never stop whisking. That's the key. Just keep whisking on medium-high heat and add a little bit of milk at a time. This right here, you see that clump? We just gonna keep moving. Don't worry about smashing it. You just keep moving it back and forth, and as it, the milk dissolves in it, it changes color, and the clumps, they just start dissolving themselves. So the key is to just keep it moving, just like you see right there, and then eventually you're gonna have all of the milk in there, and then again, I'm not gonna stop till it's like glass smooth. We just keep moving it back and forth, and look, there you go right there. That only took maybe about 3 or 4 minutes, and now we want to keep it. We want to continue to cook it until we reach our desired thickness. And because I'm cooking on an induction top, you can see that where the heat is concentrated in the middle. But I like this thickness right here. So grab my whisk. You see what I'm doing? You know what? This is just, hey, when you're making gravy, that's key. And I want to tell you, once you got your gravy, once you hit it with your basic, your starting point for your salt and your pepper, you want to taste it. You want to cook it and, adjust your salt and pepper while you're cooking it, as opposed to doing it at the end. Like anybody can make a bland gravy and then just add salt and pepper to it. That's no bueno. But here we're going to do it the right way. We're going to add what we think we should have in there right now. That's our starting point. We're going to mix it up. You're going to see that I'm going to grab a spoon. When I grab that spoon, listen, what I'm doing is I'm tasting it. And then I find out, do I need to add more salt, more pepper, or what? But there you have it. Now, what I'm doing right here is I'm just putting it in this Pyrex. And then I was thinking to myself, who's going to set a Pyrex on the table? So I went ahead and just used that, I call that's my gravy jug right there. So I just poured everything into that. And then what I did was I used that because I'm making this video. I'm trying to show out. I'm just being honest with you guys. Look, there you go. And I didn't even do no slow motion. You know what? It just is what it is. That right there is chicken fried steak at its best. So tell me what you guys think about this one here. Super easy to make, huh? You know what? I want you guys to tell me down in the comment section below and let me know, what do you guys call this? Do you from your area, is it country fried steak or is it just, chicken fried steak? Hey, I'm just curious and just want to know. Hey, now check this out. Now you guys know I be pumping up that Creole Kick, by Sweet Smoky Joe's. And I gotta say this too. You guys, I don't get nothing from it. I just find a product that I think that it should be shared with everybody, that I stand behind. And one of the things that I like about them is that they don't have all of that salt in there. That's key. That way we can add what we need. A lot of times we use these seasonings, they're a little too salty. And then when you add the salt from the recipe or you follow the recipe, you know what, it becomes a little bit on the heavy side as far as the sodium goes. This is it right here. Hey, and again, listen, I stand by this guy's product right here. Hey, these right here is just awesome. This is what sent this over the edge. So let me just take this time to say, if you're new to my channel, let me go ahead and just say, welcome to my channel. You know what? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and tell everybody out here there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know how I'm getting ready to end this. I'm out of here. Peace.